Hey all, Talib Jasir, founder of Afros and Audio, the first two-day conference for and by Black podcast creatives and audio professionals. I just wanted to take the time to pay homage to the folks that were in this space before I stepped on the scene, who were already building community, and that I personally reached out to as I was concepting and wanting to get buy-in basically from the podcast community that I was intending to serve, support, provide resources, get greater access to the industry, but also not just that, to learn from, to gain from, to have them be in contribution to what it was that we were creating, not me. And so I remember in the early days before the first podcast festival in 2019, where I reached out to folks like Barry of Pod and Color and Carrie Ann of Caribbean Podcast Directory, who has her own community, Denise Duran, who was already working in New Jersey and building a very strong podcast community. I talked with Danielle Desir, founder of WOC Podcast Community. I spoke with Wise Gazette, Juana, who had Carefree Black Girl community going. And I talked with Queen and Jay, who Barry put me in touch with, because she said, if you're going to do anything in New York, you need to reach out to them, who were already doing a Juneteenth party for podcasters every year and had been doing it long before I came on the scene. And so I remember talking to each of these folks and being nervous. Would they accept me? Would they accept what it is that I'm wanting to create? Will they understand that I'm not trying to step on toes or trying to be the one? And it was a great conversation. Some were better than others. Some were, I don't know you, but I'll see what you do. And I respected all of their thoughts, their opinions, their advice, because I didn't know what I didn't know. I was entering the scene, and it was important for me to know that there were communities already thriving and surviving and being shaped in the industry. And I was simply coming in as an accessory and a complement to them and what they'd already created. I needed them and I needed their support, because this is how we win. This is how we push through the barriers. This is how we secure our place in history and in this industry. I just wanted to really say thank you to all of those folks who answered my call, who gave me hard advice, who gave me tough advice. I remember that Queen and Jay was literally the last people that I had a dinner date with in regards to the second annual podcast festival, because they're dope like that. They're the homies and they support it in that moment. And so I've always felt supported by the community, because I created space for them to be in contribution to what it is that we are all creating. And community is first. The focus is never and was never the capital and capitalizing off of community. That's great. It's needed. Trust me, it's needed. But fortunately for me, and I always said, if this was a numbers game, then I failed, because I'm still trying to get people to show up to Afros and Audio Podcast Festival, still getting people to see the value in investing in it. And so it's a long game, but that has nothing to do with our members. That has nothing to do with the community in which we're building. A lot of us creatives have enough going on than to add something else to the plate. We have enough going on with our own internal talk that says, do I add value? Can I show up to a place and be accepted? So there's a lot going on inside of the creative mind, the community builder's mind, the entrepreneur, the trailblazer who was doing something for the first time. Shout out to Barry. Community can't be copied. Community is ancient. And what has happened, which is a beautiful thing as the world continues to evolve, technology continues to evolve, what may have been a community really grassroots and on the ground pre-COVID has now turned into a lot of virtual and online spaces, which is natural. It's the invention, it's the necessity. Black Podcast Association and Afros in Audio is in a space of serving our community and adding value while they add value to us. I am a community builder who was seeking community myself. And that's what makes what we are doing so great. It's focused on community. It's community first. And if there was anything else that led us, trust me, there was room for frustration, for upset, for feeling like this is pointless. It's a losing game. But we got great people. And our people are just as committed to seeing us win as we are to seeing them win. It matters that they show up to our workshops. It matters that they show up to our conference. But we also extend them grace when they can't. And so I just wanted to make this quick note to say, I see each and every one of you. I'm in no competition with you. I respect everything you're doing. Your people are going to find you. Our people are going to find us. And that's what makes the world great, that abundance and that ability to see that there is more than enough support, resources, and communities to go around. They will feed each other differently. They will support each other differently. And what's most important is that folks are able to find their people. And it's something that I'm very proud of. Once again, I want to shout out the folks who took the time to listen to this guy speak about my vision for the future and for the vision of Black podcasts, creatives, and audio professionals in the industry. Shout out to Barry, Queen and Jay, Carrie Ann, Danielle, Denise, and Wise, Dallas, all of you, and Quan, all of you who took the time to hear me out and allow the space for Afros in Audio and Black Podcast Association to grow. You gave me permission to believe that this is possible. Happy Black History Month to you. You all are the real OGs, the real MVPs. You were already here when I got here. And I just want to shout you out and say thank you. I see you. I am here for any and everything that you ever do in this space. I support you 100%. I also want to give an honorable mention to Ali Wahera, who also gave me space and opportunity to become. Thank you. And let's keep growing this thing together.